Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis, and this is Kaon Reviews. Alright folks, now as you saw in the intro, today's video review is going to focus on Transformers Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone has already seen their take on this figure in different video reviews. And I have to say, ever since I saw the product shots and stuff like that, I've been wanting to get this one. Now, I have to say, based off of the reviews, there are some things that, I have to say that I'm kind of not pleased with. I feel that he was not exactly that impressive, but this is based off of watching the other video reviews. Now, this is my take, just to let you know, this is my personal opinion of what I think of this figure. But before I really go ahead and just be brutal about this figure, let's go ahead and take a look at this amazing artwork. And I have to say, this is very awesome. I love the I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing at, and I'm pretty sure you can. The missile pods that are launching off, very, very nice. I'm really liking that. You see him in his tanker mode. Very, very reminiscent of his G2 appearance, in the original, or I should say in the original Hasbro run when they did G2. Now, unfortunately, I never got the figure. I think at that point I was already having kind of a fallout. But you know what? I have seen images online, as well as someone doing a review. I think it was Gotbot that did a review of a G2 Laser Optimus Prime. And I have to say, I was impressed. Now, needless to say, I am kind of tempted to go ahead and try and hunt one down, but right now is not the best time for me, so perhaps maybe later on. We'll see. If I do, you already know I'm going to review it. So, that being said, as such a great piece of artwork. Now, this is a leader class figure, so granted the box is big, but I'm assuming it's because of the fact that not only do you have the figure, you also have the tanker involved. So you all still got that. Now, in addition, you have a close-up. I'm going to try and zoom out just a little bit. Right there. Of Optimus, as well in his tanker mode. Very, very nice there. Now, on this side, you have this piece of artwork here. It just doesn't do it for me, the artwork. But we're not here to talk about the artwork. We're here to talk about the figure. So as you can see, you see the product shots of both. All three modes here, and he does have a third mode. You have him in robot mode here, holding up his sword, and as what the hell is that? Is that like a battle axe or a pizza cutter? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not that impressed with that. Then you have him in his vehicle mode, which is kind of looking kind of bare in the tanker section, but I'll touch upon that in a moment. And then, of course, you have his his base mode in this case. So, not too bad. You also got a this little VR scan, so you can be able to go ahead and scan and basically open up a link to where you can have his tech specs. So, you know, I'll probably go ahead and do that and probably show what is on there. Hopefully I won't get slapped. So we will see. Okay. But one more final look at the amazing artwork on the front of the box, and without any further ado, let's go ahead and get him opened up. All right, there he is out of his packaging, and as you see him in vehicle mode, this is how he came packaged. I should have gone ahead and taken a couple of shots so that way you can see this is how it comes. But nonetheless, this is what he looks like, and I have to say, you know, I'm not too disappointed from what I've seen so far. Yes, I did mention that I do have a couple of issues, you know, and for anyone that's had any iteration of this version of Optimus Prime, especially with the tanker mode, whether it's the old G2 version or the Titan's Return version, that's one of the things that I have concerning this, is that there's nothing on the tanker. Now granted, you know, I can understand that, you know, they want to go ahead and keep that illusion, you know. However, and sorry about that, I'm going to go ahead and put the hitch down. It's kind of hard to have the illusion with that on there. But just like the G2 Optimus Prime that came out, I have to say, you know, I like it that it's able to separate the tanker from the actual robot. And I mean, take a look. I'm going to go ahead and show this off to you. Look at that molding here. And as a matter of fact, let's shed some light on this. I thought I had some light on here, but boom, there we go. Alrighty, so here we have this version here, and I have to say I like the paint applications on here. I like that they had painted the rims on the wheels here. I do like that they had gone ahead and sorry, I got distracted because the arms weren't on there flush, but there we go. Yeah, I like that they do roll. They do. You do see, you know, at the back here, he does have a hitch, which honestly, I wish he didn't put it so close to his back. It should have been a little bit further back to allow some leeway. I mean, granted, it still turns, but I should say, as you can tell, it does. You do have, you know, where it does turn, but I think if it was a little bit more further back, you still have that clearance right there. But again, that's just me, mind you. So there we go. Now, before I veer off, so you can tell they did a lot of good molded detail for this figure. You got the footwells, the door details. Very, very nice. I wonder if, yeah, you got your tankers right here, your tanks right here, so that should have been out originally, but I can understand, you know, that, you know, because of the packaging and everything. So there we go, right there. Very, very nice. Of course, you got the little flames going on. I'm not sure if the original G2 version had the flames. I think it's just a throwback from the Bay movies. Now, granted, it's not really shiny. It's kind of I think this is just all molded plastic. It's not really painted. So, they could have added a little bit of paint here for the lights. I think these are the horns, so that they could have painted these as well to break up the monotony. I love the clear, transparent blue windows. However, after watching Patriot Prime's review of the Toy Hacks label set for this figure, as of the filming of this figure, I went ahead and placed an order for it. So I might, if I'm lucky, I'll get him next week, and I'll do a review on that as well. But right now, that's it for the tanker. As you can tell, you got the top sections, which are very reminiscent of his Siege and Earthrise, legs, which I probably will. I do have the Earthrise available to me, just not within arm's reach, so I will probably do a comparison within them in a moment. But that's it for the cab. Let's take a look at the tanker truck, and as you can tell, it is very nice. I like the molded detail on here. As you can tell, they did some really good painstaking work in making sure that it does look like a tanker. Very nice. Like I said, like the molded detail on here. On the other side, the painted wheels, very good. You got that hitch, which you can also be able to push down, and you got this little leg that allows the tanker to stand up even when the cab is separated. Now, he does come with a couple of accessories. The most obvious ones are this blue, transparent sword. Not too bad. I thought at one point he had a weapon. I think it could have been, in Robots in Disguise or Car Robot, where Black Convoy, in addition, had a physical weapon in addition to the sword. So very, very nice. I like that. Now, this, however, I'm not exactly liking. Now, I knew it's supposed to be like a type of energon axe, but I guess, he can probably use it like a shield, like an energon shield. But again, I'm just not feeling this one. Now, there is a gentleman on Facebook by name of Rex Nioki, I believe that was his last name. I'll double check on that for you. And he has created a set of weapons, as well as physical upgrade sets for this figure, in addition to Black Convoy. Now, for anyone that's seen the prototype images for Black Convoy, it's not much of a difference. The only difference is that that version will be just like this one, except his cab's gonna be like black, gray, teal, the whole 9 yards. However, not to veer too far off subject, but he had made upgrades for the sides of his arms, a new head sculpt, and so forth, as well as weapons. So more than likely, as soon as I am able to gather funds, I may go ahead and pick up that set. But depending, we'll see what happens. But in this particular case, I'm going to put the cab right over here. We're going to concentrate on this baby. So one of the things we're going to do, go ahead, well, as a matter of fact, before I jump too far into this, I'm going to take one more look at this vehicle mode, and I have to say, not too bad. And very nice. I'm liking it so far. I'd like to go ahead and see how this is going to, you know, pan out. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and proceed with transformation. All right, thank you for waiting. Now, in preparation for the transformation, I went ahead and taken the cab, put down the thicker hitch, or the leg down to go ahead and keep them upright, and we're going to go ahead and proceed further. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lock the tanks to the back of his legs like before. Now, something I didn't show you, you don't see a whole lot of robot kibble, but you do see this here, so not too bad. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and split the legs apart like so, and we're going to go ahead and put the feet and the heel spur out like so. Now at this point we're going to go ahead and lift this panel here. I'll lift these up, and we're going to lift this up. Now, before we continue further, I'm going to do a little joke like everyone has already done. We got Optimus Gerwalk. All right, so there we go. So now that we got, we're going to go ahead and put these legs back to the way they were. We're going to twist there we go. We're going to twist the waist around, and now go ahead and push this out. Now at this point we're going to go ahead and open this up, split the shoulders. I'm going to twist the chest open, as you can tell, and we're going to pull his midsection and push that over. Now, one thing that I just am discovering is that this portion will pop off. So luckily there's no metal hinge or anything, so you're not going to break anything. All you gotta do is just pop it back in. Once you hear that nice sounding click, there you go. Now at this point I'm going to try and, there we go, pull this back down, and we're going to move these arms forward. But before we continue, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this section does go in. So these sections have to go into the empty spots. And there we go. We're going to fold the arms forward like so. Turn these arms around like that. And now for some reason this one, there we go. This one was just not sitting there properly. Oh, yes, almost forgot. So now we're going to twist these arms, and as you can tell, they're on a rocker right here, so we're going to twist those around. And I'm trying to make sure this section is on there. And we're going to push the head over. Seeing as how the head was back here, flip that over. And there we go. We just lock that in. And one other thing. So this, oh, come on, baby. There we go. Now we just gotta get these hands out of there and turn those down. Put that there. Gonna do the same with the other ones. So for those that didn't see it, we're gonna pull this open and flip the hand, turn it around, and there we go. Now, one thing, I mean, as you can tell, it doesn't really have a whole lot. The arms have some articulation. The only problem is that this section is stationary. It does not turn around. So that is where we are going to have some issues. But there he is. I'm going to try and get him upright. There we go. Not too bad. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and put his miraculous sword and see if we can get that in his hand. There we go. Alrighty. Not too bad. Now, granted, as you can tell, he does have a lot of molded detail. Very, very nice. Though, I have to say, he is lacking in a lot of paint applications. Now, this is where, as a matter of fact, this is where I think I had mentioned in a previous video concerning this particular figure as to why I had hoped that Toy Hacks would make a label set, and they have. I am going to get that. He's very dull in terms of his body. Even the look of the plastic looks very dull. Don't get me wrong, I like the figure and everything, but yeah. And the fact that this upper section does not move as part of his shoulder, I don't know. I mean, because I know a lot of us would love to be able to have it to where he can raise his hand up holding his sword and stuff. And with this being stationary like it is, it just doesn't do well for me. But it is what it is. Now, another thing that I had just noticed, and good God, okay, that was unfortunate. Okay, give me a moment, folks. Optimus has just lost his head, so give me a moment while I try and find it. Alright, wow. Like I said, that was unfortunate. Okay, so as you saw, the head on my copy was extremely stiff. and of course it did prone to popping off. So one of the things I had noticed, and I'm going to try and zoom in, is the head sculpt. As you can tell, they did a somewhat fair job with the faceplate and the painting on his crest, but it's his face that basically left a lot to be desired. Now, we had that issue with Earthrise Optimus, and where I wound up having to go ahead and actually get some silver paint and actually paint around his eyes. Now, I think I did a fair job, but honestly, that upgrade set that I mentioned earlier, excuse me, is looking better and better. So, I mean, the fact that number one, the head is very stiff. I mean, you can still do 360, but again, the head comes off. If I wanted the head to come off, I'd still have my Titans Returns Optimus. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and move on. I don't want to dwell too much on this. Oh, something I did forget during the transformation process was to put this backpack on there. So there we go. But as you can tell, he does have some great molded detail within his body mold, or I should say in his robot mode. And one thing I did not even notice till now is this deal right here. I mean, take a look at that. The gears, is depending on how you do it, I mean, wow, that is pretty awesome. And of course you got a rather unique remolding of the front of his legs. You can tell that this is pretty much still molded in from the original Siege and Earthrise version. Now, of course, this is kind of hollow, and I think I did see an upgrade kit for this. I think also Larkin's Lair did something for this as well. So I may check it out, so we'll see what happens. So he's got, bicep rotation. Oh, let me zoom out, sorry. There we go. Okay, so he does have his arm can go up, it can go up like so, it can go back. It would normally go 360. The only problem is this will not follow. It is stationary, and that is a major drawback. I'm not saying this wouldn't be a good toy, but if you want to try and go for some dramatic poses, yeah, not something that you'd want to have. So again, he does have wrist rotation here. He does have bicep rotation, and his arms can bend at a little over 90 degrees. He does have a waist rotation. He can kick up 90 degrees, he can kick back 90 degrees, and he can bend 90 degrees and kick almost his own head. He does have upper thigh rotation. He can kick out and do a full Van Damme. He does have ankle tilt. He can, his toes can bend back a bit, but again, that's due to transformation. So there you go. Now, in addition, and again, I do want to show this off because I think it's really cool. He's got, just like in the illustration, he's got his, whoops, sorry about that. He's got his his missile launchers on his shoulders. Very nice. I'm liking that very well. He also has this plate here that does come up, so it will allow you to go up forward like so. So he can kind of, you know, do a rising of the sword, but not by much. In addition, his chest can open up. Now I try. There you go. It can open up to reveal the Matrix, and very, very nice. Oh, let me close that missile pod there. Very nice. I mean, I'm liking it. Like I said, I do have some issues with the figure, but again, that, you know, that is to be expected. Now, of course, you know, he does have some clear, transparent blue windows, and you can still see the Matrix on there. So I don't know. Though after, though when I do get the Toy Hacks labels, that will probably change, most definitely. And of course, you see the back here, very nice. Again, it's the same. And I'll have to do something about this this gappage here. More than likely, I will probably wind up getting a filler kit to cover that up. Now, where I get it from, I have yet to decide. But not too bad. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the tanker. Now, tanker, as you can see, is very nice. You know, the only thing that I have an issue with is the fact that, you know, they just molded it in just regular gray plastic. It's got a lot of good molded detail and everything. The thing about it is, I do remember G2 as well, so I do know this tanker had some, labels on the side of the tanker and whatnot. So, again, Toy Hacks. Need I say anything more? So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to go ahead and stand this up like so. Stand this up, or I should say stand the tanker like so, and pull this ramp down. And go ahead and go back just a bit. There you go. I'm going to try and zoom out just a little. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pull this down and put this up like so, and dip this down, and there we go, like so. Now, granted, I believe this is sort of like a repair hook. This is your turret, where you can be able to shoot away at enemies. And you can probably put this upright like so, sort of like a type of shield. They didn't really supply him with a whole lot of accessories, especially for this mode. So this is how it's going to look like. But like I said, it's not too bad. As a matter of fact, I think you should be able to Nope. So what we can do is put that in his hand like a battle axe. Honestly, I'm not really liking this. This thing is so damn tight. There we go. Last thing I want to do is get this broken in any way, shape, or form. But again, not too bad. Though, like I said, it is kind of plain. There's a lot of molded detail on here, as I'm about to show you as I bring this up close. As the light hits the black portion, you can actually see that. On the inside, very interesting little molded interior details. On the ramp, you can see that molded on there. You got the little hook going on here, very nice. I like it. And yeah, not too bad. Now of course, yeah, there we go. Now of course, you know, I think Patriot Prime had mentioned this earlier. This portion is sort of like, you know, a barrier here from outside, so it's supposed to be facing out like so. But again, at the same time, you can do it either way. Now this can twist around, go 360, and this, as you saw me playing around with it, can articulate up and down. The claw does fold like so. And I think, yeah, this can also be used like a handheld weapon, which honestly, I mean, we've seen this a variation of this version of Optimus Prime with a double-barreled weapon. Honestly, I wish they had given him something like that. That would have been so much more cooler. But again, that's just me. So, other than that, that is not too bad. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring out Earthrise Optimus. We're going to do a quick comparison. And after that, I will give you my final thoughts and my final score. All right, folks, thank you for your patience. I really appreciate that. Now, a quick comparisons between Earthrise Optimus Prime and Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. Now, of course, you know, the differences are definitely night and day, because this is a total reworking of this figure, which in itself is a total rework of Siege Optimus, which unfortunately I no longer have. However, that being said, yeah, there's you know, definitely several differences. You know, in addition is the face. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, I had gone ahead and done a paint job on his face, which was a little messy, but I really wanted to go ahead and just get that face done. I didn't really want to wind up having to go ahead and basically split the head and then not be able to, you know, be able to get it back on. So I just did what I can in terms of paint. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why don't you have him in an action pose? Because I am being lazy today. It is Friday, damn it. Allow me to be lazy. All right. So, in addition to the changes, again, this is a total reworking of Optimus, especially not just with the chest, because this is a total reload right here, but with the legs. Now, as you can tell, between them both, it uses, you know, his hip skirts here, his legs. They reworked his shins here, so you have this interesting little, you know, you know, shin look. And of course, one thing that you got this going on here, it's almost the same like Siege or Earthrise, so not too bad. But of course, you know, my stage moved. But you know, other than that, yeah, you have, you know, they stand almost equal. I'm gonna try and get him kind of situated here, and hopefully this head will not pop off. So, as I was saying, you know, they're pretty much almost the same in terms of height from head to head, but these shoulders pretty much kind of, you know, have them towering a little bit over, so they're almost the same height from head to head. Articulation, like I mentioned earlier, this one, you know, you're able to do 360 around. Unfortunately, you do have the option of doing 360. The only problem is that this, you know, is going to be an issue. Though I think I did see a third-party upgrade kit which will allow this to raise up higher to where you can be able to do 360. But again, I think I saw that on TS Safari. So again, these are options that you can utilize at another time. But other than that, let me go ahead and get Earthrise Optimus out of here, and I'll be back with my thoughts and my final score. All right, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Now, my final thoughts on this figure. I have to say, I do like it, despite a lot of issues that I had mentioned beforehand. I do like this figure. I honestly cannot wait to actually get Black Convoy. Of course, more than likely I will probably wind up ordering the upgrade set for that one before they ever release Black Convoy. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference in there other than the color scheme, but I think I am going to go ahead and you know, as I mentioned earlier, I did go ahead and ordered the Toy Hacks labels for this figure here, so I will be doing a review of that set, and hopefully my stance on this figure will improve. Now, of course, I am seriously considering getting the upgrade and weapons upgrade for this particular figure. So when I do wind up ordering those and getting those in, I will also do a review on that. So again, you know, on a scale of 1 through 10, it's a fine figure. However, I'm gonna have to give it a 6, and that's a very low score for for Optimus of any kind. I think I gave Earthrise one, I think an 8 or a 10 at one point. Hell, I think I even gave him an 8 or 9. So I mean, wow. I mean, I just don't know how to say it. Like I said, there's a lot that could have been added on. Additional weapons would have been nice. This Energon shield or battle axe, not really liking it. I think they were better off putting a double-barreled weapon in addition to his sword. That would have been good. I would have loved it. And depending on how it looked in the design, I would have said, that is effing cool. But they didn't. Even if they just gave us the sword, I mean, hell, that would have been preferable than this. And of course, additional accessories for that base mode would have been better too. So that is my take on this figure. I want to hear from you. Do you have this figure? Were you able to pick this up? Oh, before I forget, where I wound up picking this one up, I wound up pre-ordering this on Hasbro Pulse. So I'm not sure if it's still available on Hasbro Pulse, but if it is, I will put a link in the description below. So take a look. But other than that, as I was saying before I interrupted myself, I want to hear from you. Do you have this figure? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Click onto the bell icon so you can be notified when I put up new videos. And before I go any further, I have finally, with you all's help, I have finally reached my goal of 200 subscribers. And as I promised, I am now going to give away the Bad Kitty. So, this is basically for those within the continental United States. You have a chance of getting this cat. So what you're going to need to do is I will put rules within the video. As a matter of fact, how about for June 25th, it will be the day. So you'll have 2 weeks from this Saturday to go ahead and send an email. I will leave instructions on how to do this in the description below. You'll have 2 weeks to do this. The only thing you're going to do, subject, Ravage, body, Bad Kitty. No more than that. Now this is geared only towards your current subscribers, so that's another rule. You have to be currently subscribed. And you also have to like the video also. So remember, subscribe, like the video, share if you want others to go ahead and check this out and join in. But they have to be within the US. No further than that. So I'd like to go ahead and thank everyone who made this moment possible. So this is my thanks. And like I said, this is not a bad looking figure. I really like this. All his weapons and so forth are included. As you can tell, he has not been open. He has not, I mean, everything has been the day I got him in the mail. So I'm gonna put this off to the side here. So like I said before, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel, who's liked my videos, who even commented, a couple of times. I mean, I thank you all so much. And I actually want to do more giveaways like this. So if you help me meet the next goal of 300 subscribers, we'll go ahead and see what the next giveaway will bring. If you have any suggestions, leave that in the comments, or you can email me directly, where I will leave the email in the comments below. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.